face.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Yaron, and you're watching or listening to the Yaron Show, Knicks Take. Today I'm going to be talking about the season, basically everything what we've done. But let's talk about the whole entire thing from start to finish of the Knicks season. We just finished up the playoffs. We won against the Cavs and then lost to the Heat, of course. And basically, I'll give you a season recap and all that stuff. So I'll start off with the regular season. The regular season was really good. We did a good job. It was an up and down scale, but you know what? We managed to come up with it. That's what I really liked about it. If I had to rate the season, it would probably be around the 75%. We weren't bad, but we had our moments where we were losing some games, and we had probably a 5-game losing streak. At the beginning of the season, we lost to Philly during Christmas Day. We were very, very upset about it. But right after that, we had the 8-game winning streak during and after the All-Star weekend and also the trading deadline with Josh Hart. Oh my God, that was amazing. We weren't expecting that. But that reaction, you knew that something good was going to happen with Jalen and Josh because they played together in Villanova. So you knew something was up. So we did a good job on that. 8-game winning streak from the All-Star weekend till who did we lose to? I think it was Charlotte, which was that one was an interesting thing. We did a good job there. We had a couple of ups and downs during positions, or not positions, but the games when it came down to the, Miami Heat and Chicago Bulls, where it was kind of like we were all over the place. But you know what? The top 3 teams that I was really impressed that we played a really good job at was the Boston Celtics. We won at their home court, probably not to be exaggerated, but maybe at least 3 times. Miami was it was the same exact thing. 2, maybe 3 times at their home court, and then I'll talk about when we played against them in the playoffs. And then who else? What was it? I think it was Brooklyn a couple of times because they traded Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, which was the funniest thing of them all because we went back to back in Brooklyn, just won it because they weren't even there. They got traded, of course. Brooklyn is stupid. They traded one of their most biggest stars. Anyways, Kyrie didn't want to be there from the start. He was dealing with some issues. And then Kevin Durant was he knew it was over. Both of them knew it was over. And then little by little in the season, we did a good job. We really did, even though we had a couple of losses towards the end of the regular season, we managed to get the W. And some losses, but it was really well done. Really well done. I think we put the nail in the coffin. It was just pitch. Oh my God. I've got to say, good job. Good job. And I mean, basically this season, this regular season was so amazing. It was just mind-blowing. So, also I want to talk about just us players and how we did a good job. So what we did this season was amazing. So you had players like Josh Hart. You had players like Jalen, all of these newcomers coming to the Knicks with a fresh mindset. We're not confused of who's going to play where. Tom Thibodeau put us in a position where all the players were going to stay in their position. If you're going to play guard, you're going to play guard. If you're going to play center, you're going to play center. And he was really consistent. Yes, some nights we would play so shitty that we would just go berserk as Knicks fans, as who we usually are. Go on Side Talk and see all of their videos of just us being so crazy, even with a win or a loss. But when we sticked with each player as their position, Tom what he was doing. It was clear to him that there was a bright bright future as well, but there was a good way to put this starting five. That's all that mattered to him. He said, you know what, this is what I'm going to do with Julius, this is what I'm going to do with RJ, and he kept on just like figuring out, because think about it, we're going up against big teams, the Boston Celtics, the Lakers, the Miami Heat, all of these big teams that we never won against. And it's been like maybe 5 years ever since we won against them. Brooklyn is another team that we lost. The list went on and on and on, and it was just mind-blowing of how we won against them. Even the Chicago Bulls and all these teams. I mean, overall, everyone played good. Mitch, a little bit of Julius, everyone played good, I think the mostly credit would have to be RJ Barrett, Josh Hart, and Jalen. I think with Julian, he's a little bit shaky. Everyone wants him out. He has a lot. He spent his contract was like $400 or no $4,000 to stay for the Knicks for 4 years, and everyone just wants him out. So I'm not so sure where to stand with that, but I'm going to be talking about that in a few minutes. What's up, guys? Future Yaron here. Don't listen to that Yaron, because that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. So, future Yaron, from a couple of days later, is this. Take a look at your screen. It's going to be Julius Randle's current contract. I'm not going to say how much, but take a look on the screen. I'm going to screenshot it right now. Don't know math. You have 10 seconds. Now back to the past Yaron. The next thing I want to talk about is the season, well, not the season, but in the playoffs, of how we did a good job. So here's the thing. In the playoffs, during the Cavs and against the Miami Heat, we did a good job. During the first round, when we went up against the Cavs, we knew what to do, because they wanted to fight back. Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, Danny Green, you name it, like Ricky Rubio, even a person that is unknown and he's not as good as he used to be. Like all these guys, like they really wanted to hurt us badly during the playoffs and in the first round. When Tibbs would put a person like Julius on the bench and all of these guys, he knew what he was doing. Because most of these games in the first round against the Cavs, Julius was good. He was really good. But at times when he wasn't having a perfect game and averaged probably 24 points and all that stuff, who was there? Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett actually had a little shaky start in the playoffs. It wasn't really his time to shine, but he did a good, decent job. I think Donovan Mitchell did a good job. I actually take that back right now that I said that RJ had a shaky one, but RJ Barrett had a pretty decent season. Josh Hart, of course, you got to give him some credit. I already said Jalen Brunson, but Julius, he really stuck. He really stuck with the first round. He really did somewhat of a good job in the first round because of course it's an easy team, and like, I mean, not easy because you had Donovan Mitchell, the guy you already knew that he would try to fight back, but of course when you saw Donovan Mitchell like against us right now, against us, the New York Knicks, you knew that he wasn't gonna try to keep it up. At some point they were because they won game 2, but we just went back home, won those 2 games, went back to Cleveland, won that game, and then it was Miami. As far as for Miami, really, really, really shaky. We won only maybe like 1 game at home, and I've got to say it wasn't pretty. I can't even talk about it. Okay, we did a good job. We won 1 game in the world's most famous arena. I just I can't talk about it because of how horrible we played a little bit. Even though Jalen Brunson played so beautifully during those 2 rounds, and that's it. Julius Randle gave up in the second round. I mean, I hope he's going to show something during the next season. Overall, everyone else did a good job against the Miami Heat. It was just Julius. We were all counting on him. As far as for training camp, I mean, this is going to be interesting because I'll tell you one thing. As we look into the NBA Combine draft, which of course we're going to see some really good players, we have to get adjusted to, okay, what could we look for next season? How will we do it? What do we need to improve? I know who needs to improve even more. Julius. I think that's the key. Next season, we have to show up, and we got to bring our A game. That's basically about it. Right now, I also want to talk about Julius. I know I'm mentioning Julius Randle's name a lot, but I really want to talk about him. So I want to talk about him and also some other tradings and signings that we could do. I know that during the lottery draft, we didn't get a draft pick, but hopefully we could probably figure something out between trades or something like that. Again, there's not going to be a chance where we're going to trade someone for Julius Randle. It's just generally impossible, and I'm going to start it right now. Julius Randle has been really shaky. We're really concerned about Julius. Like, even half of the fan base, they don't want him here. Because, of course, and I can't say for myself. For myself, I think Julius Randle is a good player, but he needs to improve if he wants to stay here. New Yorkers. When New Yorkers don't get what they want, they start to rant. They start to get angry, and that's what's happening to the Knicks fan base. We're getting a little bit upset at him because every single time he ends up from a good start, and the next thing you know, it's kind of like he gives up. If I'm Tom Thibodeau, this is what I do. I sit him on the bench for a couple of minutes, at least maybe 10 minutes, if he's not playing 100%. Let's say if we're playing against the Boston Celtics and we're trailing by 15 points. You know what you do? You put Julius on the bench. As far as for the signings and tradings, like I said before, we didn't get the lottery draft. Of course, we're not in the draft picks. We probably got one in the second round because we ended up in the playoffs. which I have to watch it again because I didn't watch it at the time. Like, here's the thing: if we did get someone in the second round, here's the thing: we also need someone who's kind of a young athletic player that can play a certain amount of minutes. Someone like that, we need someone that could we could still trust and be like, okay, do you've got what it takes to play on the court and sit someone down on the bench? Good. Get out there, play 10, 15 minutes. Show me what you got. So, of course, I want to see what they got. As far as for trades, I don't know what's going to happen this offseason in terms of trades because we're not so sure who we're going to end up. I believe, if I'm correct, we do have one trade that the Dallas Mavericks gave us. I think it was 2 years ago or a year ago. So that I would keep an eye out because I think we have that pick. And it might be for the first round, but I'm not so sure. Future Yaron is back yet again. I made a mistake. Past Yaron made a mistake again. We don't have any draft picks. But not to worry. We got it all under control. And I'm reading articles right now on sources that we don't have any picks. So Yahoo, ESPN, the list goes on and on and on. Knicks content creators on YouTube. And yeah, okay? So, yeah. Anyways, back to past Yaron, where he's just going to keep on running his mouth and enjoy the rest of the show. Yeah. Now I want to talk about the playoffs, of course. So, with the playoffs and how we played, we just did a good job. Let's just say that. The first round, like I said before, we played consistently. There was just no words to describe the way that we played because, of course, Donovan Mitchell didn't play much. He was good during the playoffs, but he didn't. Let's just say he didn't give it his all. He was just trying to be that person that could lead the team. Did he lead the Cavs during the playoffs? I don't think so. He's basically what Julius did a couple of years ago when we were in the playoffs and we versed the Atlanta Hawks. Of course, that's the thing. If you think you could lead this team, you lead it by hand and you say, okay, I know what to do when I'm on the court. Donovan Mitchell didn't even show. We took control after games 1, 3, and 4, and 5, and we were kind of like, this is way too easy. He's not showing that he could actually play. He only showed that one game, which was game 2 in Cleveland. Am I surprised? No. But he didn't show it his all. The only people that kind of did was Danny Green, Ricky Rubio, which no one really even kept an eye on him. I mean, it was just hilarious. That was the easiest run. Now going to Miami, which is kind of painful to talk about. But that series was locked and loaded because they came game 1 and then we came back, what was it? I think it was we came back game 2. So they came on fire game 1 at our home court. And then game 2, we were just like, we need to get this win. Of course, Jalen Brunson, being the star that he is, he did it for us. I think he had he averaged 44 points or something like that, which was pretty impressive. Or I think that was Jimmy Butler. Jalen Brunson, he was the star of this team of the New York Knicks. And even though that we didn't win, and we only won 2 games against the Miami Heat, we still showed that we want to keep We wanted to be still in this run. Unfortunately, right after game 5 and what was game 2, right after that, like game 6, which was literally, I want to say last Friday, I believe it was like no, it was even on Thursday. Yeah, last Thursday that we lost against the Miami Heat. We were at their home court. Who takes full control? Jimmy Butler, Kevin Love, Bam Adebayo. You're talking about all these good players, and we were kind of like, what? And that's why we lost that game, because they were too good. They came back on fire, and the first 3 quarters we did a good job, but the fourth quarter, Jimmy Butler was kind of like, give me the fucking ball, and I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want. That's what happened. We just stood there. I mean, it was just Julius. Everyone else tried to do something. Julius was just staring into space. He was watching the Jumbotron. It was a good playoffs series. That's what I've got to say. As well as for coaching changes, I don't think there's going to be, any, thing with Tom Thibodeau. I mean, it's been a crazy week because let's just say Monty Williams, Doc Rivers, Mike Budenholzer, who else got fired? It was just crazy because Nick Nurse, basically coaches that were so good, even like Frank Vogel, this season was so hilarious in terms of firing head coaches. So I don't think with Tom there's gonna be a firing, even though sometimes when the season ends for the Knicks, everyone's like, let's fire Tom and get someone else, and then we start fantasizing on good head coaches, but then we've got to stop doing that because Tom Thibodeau is a good coach. We got to leave him in, but the guy is a good coach. He's a good candidate to this team. This has nothing to do with how he coached the team. Why would you want to fire him if he's a really good coach? We've got to give this guy a chance. He's been with us for what? 3 years. And then next thing you know, what are we gonna do? What do you think Leon Rose is gonna do? What do you think Scott Perry's gonna do? World Wide West, what do you think they're gonna do? What, they're gonna fire him because of a season that we lost in 2 rounds? I mean, if it was year 5 of being in the league, okay, sure, but he's already with the Knicks for 3 years. Tom Thibodeau is already with the Knicks for 3 years, so we don't need to do anything. Okay, maybe some assistant coaches. If you ask me, we didn't need to get rid of Mike Woodson, even though he is a head coach of Indiana, the University of Indiana. So if you ask me, that's the only thing that I'm bothered by. I mean, it has nothing to do with Tom and everyone. And you know what, guys? You could even write it down in the comments down below of how you guys feel about this whole thing with Tom and Julius, because that's how I generally think. Comment down below of how you feel about Tom and Julius, and give me your intake on both of them. I mean, it's been such a interesting season to see of how we did. And I've got to say, we really did a good job. Guys, let me know what you guys think about this Knicks season, including the playoffs. And also give me your intake on what you guys think about Tom Thibodeau and Julius Randle, and what you guys think about them. Next week, I'm going to probably be talking about more of the NBA draft, but that's what I'm going to be talking about next week. And yeah, that's about it. So anyways, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, also ring that notification on so you get every single video that you want to watch. And if you only want to watch Knicks Take, you know what to do. You go on the playlist, you press on the playlist box, and what it will do is the same exact thing as the notification bell. It will give you only the Knicks and the Game Changer episodes, and that's it. Also, check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and yeah, Anyways, guys, I hope you have a nice weekend or day, week, and yeah. Anyways, guys, peace.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Yaron. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and also make sure to check out some of my other videos. Anyways, guys, peace.